Virgin Voyages, a new concept in cruising that we've been waiting for since 2019. A global pandemic and 2 cancellations, and we're finally here. Okay, here we go. So this has been many years in the making, and here we go. How are you?
Good and you. Does your cap for me, please? Thank you so much.
Thank you. And as soon as welcome to Virgin Voyages. Hello, hi.
Is this a video?
Yeah. Is this a video? That should have been my first clue that this was all built around photos and videos. Hi, how are you? I arrived at my cabin and it was pretty cool how the curtains opened automatically and the room felt pretty spacious. However, the furniture was kind of like IKEA in that it was low profile and kind of plasticky. I couldn't wait to check out my hammock and used it a lot. It was probably my #1 favorite thing about this cruise. We boarded early and decided to take advantage of that and check out the ship before there were a lot of other guests on board. This furniture was pretty cool initially, but later we found out was not very practical or comfortable. These net things were almost never used, and these flatbeds, I don't know what they were thinking. They don't adjust, and they feel like you're laying on a gym mat. We moved from this almost never used area to this almost never used area. This is the outdoor gym area. And even though the first 14 days of our cruise, we were not in the Caribbean where it was hot, this area was almost never used. We never saw anybody there. And the gym, however, was used, the indoor gym. But the outdoor gym, never used. Okay, the boxing ring. I did see a couple of people in the boxing ring a couple of times, but they were posing for someone else taking pictures of them. These mini cabanas are a cool concept, but not really cool practically. They were kind of on top of each other and a little bit warm to be in. The walking track was my #2 favorite part of this cruise. It was a great track that was a great escape even when I wasn't feeling well. My one complaint about the track is that crew smoking area there on the left, or on this picture on the right, and on the left again. Okay, the food. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the food. This was Razzle Dazzle's famous bacon one morning. We were disappointed in most of the food and found a lot of comments online on our same cruise that were also disappointed in the food. Too much to go into, but very disappointed. To top it off, one night we just had potato and beans and rice and beans. Which brings me to hygiene and sanitation. These hand sanitizer things oftentimes were not working or empty. These people were on our 14-day cruise and were trying to sell the next segment as they were too sick to continue. High traffic areas like elevators and doors are prime viral cross-contamination areas that seem to get little attention. Okay, back to the uncomfortable furniture. These little hassock things were kind of like everywhere, in every location, these little footstool type things. Even in the lounge area in Miami, most of the seating wasn't really occupied. Beds, and more beds. These things were everywhere, and they were pretty much all uncomfortable. And let's not even talk practical unless you're trying to get it on in public. These stairs in the atrium or roundabout looked cool, but were really awkward to walk on. This catamaran net thing, hard and uncomfortable. Completely underutilized except for taking pictures. So one of Virgin's things is no annoying announcements. That dot there is us in the middle of the Atlantic. And we all get this emergency alert on our phones, TVs, and every video board on the ship. And no announcement. Not for at least 15 minutes. It was pretty much bad communication all around. We did enjoy a couple of the shows. This one is dual reality. And then also we enjoyed the ship show, which was sort of like a dinner show. So there's the menu, and here's some of the acts in the show. The personal relationships between crew were pretty obvious and on display. At times it felt like their good time rather than mine was their priority. Instead of a cruise director, Virgin has opted for the Happenings cast, which as far as I could make up are about a half a dozen young people running about the ship foolishly. I never realized how much I'd miss a cruise director until I didn't have one. So they have a huge line in here wrapped all around the center area. And whatever delay they have right here, they are holding up the entire line. I mean, there's hundreds of people in line. We came out here not to wait in this line. But whatever delay they're having with one person, they are not moving this entire line because of that. So that was disembarkation, which took us over 2 hours. Nice way to end, huh? To close, I always enjoy a cruise, and on this one, it was the walking track and my hammock that I enjoyed the most. Unfortunately, on this cruise, there was more that I didn't like. The three words that come to mind are underwhelmed, disappointed, and amateur. I did play in the casino, so maybe I've earned another cruise, but it's the only way I'll give it another chance. I won't spend my own money for another Virgin Voyage. If you found any of this interesting, follow me or share. I'm The Cruise Guy on just about all your social media. That's The Cruise Guy, Thee. I take about a dozen cruises a year, so look for more tips, tricks, and reviews coming ahead.